prison breaks are stories that we all can kind of emphasize with and understand the person that's trying to escape from the prison, whether they're a good person or a bad person. Because in a way, it's kind of like how society almost blocks us into a box that we feel confined in, and we're just trying to find a way to escape if we've been put in the wrong box, or if people outside are trying to help pull us out of the rut that we're in. So I feel like there's a deep connection that we can have to those prison break stories from Escape from Alcatraz, Shawshank Redemption, or even that prison show from the early 2000s. Now, when I was watching this episode, I kind of had those feelings coming in as I was watching this episode as we went along. In this episode, Ark and Ariana meet up with the furry-eared ninja that we met back in episode 4. Now, before they really talk too much, the ninja wants to talk with them privately so no one on the street can hear or see them, which is understandable. As a ninja, you really don't want to be noticed or for people to eavesdrop onto your conversation. So they get into their separate room where she introduces herself as Lady Chinobe of the Jinsu clan. And before they get into the main subject, she asks Arkin how he would possibly know that she's a ninja, because this is a heavily kept secret within her clan, and no one really outside knows of that word. Ark not wanting to sound like a fool by telling them like, hey, I'm from another world, and from that world we call spies like you back in the old times a ninja. So instead he just says, from my home country, we have spies that dress like you that we call ninjas, prompting her to say that, oh, you must have been from the same country as our founder, which makes Ark curious as to if her founder is still alive, for her response is saying no, he died over 600 years ago and is more of a legend at this point. But they then quickly move on to the main thing that she wants to ask them about, and she really wanted to ask Ark if he would be willing to come with her and help her save some of the beastmen who are being held captive in the slave markets around all of the royal capital. In exchange, she can provide them with more information on those individuals listed on the slave contract. Unfortunately, Ark mentions that he's currently under contract with the elves, so he can't really help at the moment, but does mention to Lady Ariana that he thinks this information could be more valuable to them at the moment. Before Ariana responds to that, she asks Lady Chome if she has been doing this since she was a young child, which she responds yes, her one goal in life is to get stronger and save as many beastmen as she can. Seeing a kindred spirit in the young warrior, Ariana of course says yes, that she will help her any way she can. Now as this conversation is taking place, we also finally learn who was behind those haunted wolves, and surprise surprise, it was Prince Darkness and the Eastern Empire. Now during this meeting, Prince Darkness learns that they had lost control of the wolves and that Princess Ariana was probably taking some back routes to where they have no idea where she's at. To make matters worse, his aged centurion then mentions that both the beastmen and the elves have become more efficient on freeing their enslaved kin and are probably going to be coming to the capital pretty soon here to do the exact same thing. This sends Prince Darkness into a panic, demanding that his aged centurion do something, who doesn't take too kindly to the command, but does offer up a safe house that should be pretty secretive. Not wasting a moment, Prince Darkness immediately leaves for the safe house, leaving a somewhat angered centurion looking out over his departure as he stares at the necklace of Princess Ariana, indicating that there's some kind of backroom dealing going on here, some kind of political intrigue going on. So the fact that he didn't mention to him that she was dead means that Prince Darkness has definitely picked the wrong guy to trust, and his days might be numbered. So be careful, Crown Prince, because you're walking a dangerous line here. We then cut back to Ark and Ariana, who are being led through some woods by Lady Chome up to a hilltop where they can overlook the slave market so they can get a better view of the target they're going to be going for that evening. During this walk, Ark asks if the great founder was a beastman like her, which she responds no, he was a human by the name of Hanzo, and he was a spy for the Revolian Empire. Now, under that empire, the beastmen who lived there were being mistreated by the empire, so he took some of them in as his subordinates, and thus that was the birth of the Jinsu clan. Now hearing this news, Ark kind of starts geeking out that it wasn't just a guy from Earth, but a Japanese guy who was able to create his own ninja clan that remembers him 600 years later. So that just causes Ark to just completely geek out for a little bit. His female companions wonder what's going on with him, but just chalk it up to just one of Ark's interesting quirks. Once they reach the hilltop and overlook the slave market, Lady Charmaine then reviews her full plan that really this attack on the slave market is more of a distraction to bring over reinforcements and the royal army away from the other slave markets so that when the rest of the Jinsu clan attacks, their attacks can be clean and save everybody without putting anyone at harm. But everyone who's going to be attacking here at the biggest slave market, she will try to be saving some people, but the likelihood is that a lot of beastmen will die tragically. Now, it's at this point that Ark makes the point that, hey, I have teleportation magic, would that be somewhat useful? Which immediately makes Lady Charmaine ecstatic, stating that he has the same power as their founder, which was time-space Nijitsu. Now, Ark steps back a little bit, saying that I don't think it's space-time Nijitsu, but I can use my teleportation spell, so hopefully this can be somewhat helpful. Lady Charmaine says like, oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, this is not only helpful, but this completely changes our plan of attack. I gotta go meet with other clan members so we can get this adjusted so we can have a proper form of attack. She immediately then turns around and runs off the cliff, jumping towards the trees, yelling back to Ark and Ariana that also they're planning to do their attack tonight, so make any preparations that they need to now, as she continues to start jumping from treetop to treetop like some Naruto ninja. Now, with some time on their hands, and seeing that they have to get ready for the battle to come, Ark and Ariana do the one thing that everyone should do, and that is to go have supper. It looks like they're having quite the impressive spread. Smart move, guys. They're enjoying quite the feast from all the food that comes into the capital. Now, everything looks good, and everything looks great from what they're eating, and then Lady Ariana brings out an interesting looking dish for Ark to try. Apparently it's a crunchy, delicious dish that turns out to be the innards from the bugs from the last episode. Now, I know that some people are okay with eating bugs, but I'm not a big fan of it, okay? I know some people like to deep fry them and dip them in chocolate, but I'm sorry, no, that's not for me, fam. I'm going to stick with my steaks, my pizzas, and my ice creams. That's all I need. I don't need any of that gross bug stuff. My apologies there, but no, you're not going to catch me eating bugs. Anyways, to finish up their meal, everything goes well, and Ark needs to make one last stop before they go meet with Lady Charmaine for their siege tonight. And that one last stop was buying a mask and a whole garb to make him look a little bit more scary. Ark was quite proud of his whole getup, saying that it only cost him 13 gold coins. At that, Lady Ariana is like, right, well, I had to tell you, Ark, the only thing scary about this whole getup is the price that you had to pay for it all. And he's just shocked, like, what, but look at the craftsmanship, the cultural significance, right, Ponta? And Ponta's just like, sorry, bro, you just got scammed big time. Before Ark can argue it any further, Lady Charmaine shows up with a friend of her in tow by the name of Goemon. Now, this man is jacked. He's a monster. You wouldn't want to meet him in a fight. He looks like someone that could break me in two. And so, yeah, definitely stay away from this guy at all costs. Now, immediately coming in contact with Ark and Ariana, he immediately dashes forward to start doing a strength contest with Ark, which surprises the girls. Now, during this contest, they find they're both evenly matched in strength, so force each other back and are about to start pummeling each other, which then just turns into them slapping each other's forearms and congratulating each other that they're so strong, and it's quite impressive. Completely confusing the girls, they just chalk it up as to some strange masculine ritual, which I can say as a dude, yeah, we can probably do that. I mean, if you're going to be going to combat with somebody, I would like to know how strong you are. If you got my back, I hope you're strong enough to actually cover it. So, with that settled, they then divide up into two teams. Ark and Goemon will take the front gate. Lady Ariana, Lady Choemon, and Lady Ponta will take the back route to invade the slave market and free the slaves from that direction. Without any further ado, the attack commences with Ark and Goemon going up to the front gates, knocking it wide open with pretty much ease. Goemon uses the first magical ability, which is body elemental magic, where he's able to make some stone blades on his shoulders and apparently give himself the strength of stone, and also transfer his body into steel, so when blades come in contact with him, they just break. So, pretty badass spells right there. Ark, not being done up by him, takes out his rock shot and starts shooting boulder chest-sized rocks at the soldiers. Seeing that these are mages that are attacking, they immediately call for reinforcements, just as Ark and Goemon wanted. Now, Goemon picks it up a notch by casting Rock Spear Strike, which sends a line of spiked rocks outward. I don't know if these are considered stalactites or stalagmites. I'll leave that down here so that we know. Now, not wanting to be outdone by Goemon, Arc casts his own spell, Rock Fang, that does a kind of a similar same thing by sending out a whole bunch of spikes of rocks out in all directions, and has the unintended consequence of having a cumulative effect with Rock Spear, making their spells far more powerful than they expected, in fact, eventually even burying Arc and Goemon underneath their own spells. Now, we're presuming that they're okay, but we don't really get to see because we cut back over to Lady Ariana and Lady Chomaine and Lady Panta breaking into the slave market, and then we cut. Now, overall, I'm going to give this episode probably a 7. It's not a bad episode, it's just that we didn't get much in the way of world building. All we really got is a little bit more explanation of what the Furry Ear Ninja was, her clan, and some backstory to that, which is interesting, but it's not really necessary at this point. And we also got a little bit more of a confirmation that the haunted wolves were from Prince Darkness and the Eastern Empire. So we got a little more clarification for that, and a little bit more interesting political intrigue going on who Centurion's loyalty is actually to, if he's not telling Prince Darkness that his sister is in fact actually dead at this point. Otherwise, the story was fine. I mean, as I said, I personally enjoyed it because of the jailbreaking aspect, the plan, setting it together, and then executing it. There wasn't a lot necessarily here, though, for me to really get into. So a 7 is a good score. It's good. It's fine. It's just that it didn't really bring me into the story all that much, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping the next one, where they're actually getting into the slave market and actually rescuing the slaves, gets a little bit better job at that. So I'm hoping there. But let me know, am I being a little too critical of it? Am I not giving enough thought into it? Am I not giving it enough room to breathe? I would like to hear what you guys' thoughts down below. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Y'all take care now. Bye.